Hi, everyone. That's Sandy Grigsby. I'm Ken Rakowski. Welcome to our hour here at Metal, where we talk about everything when it comes from personal development to business to just connecting. And this is our 6th week in Dubai.
In this beautiful hotel room that has fancy art.
Yeah, well, you're not really that fancy. This beautiful hotel that's only like $70 a night. That we have
it's so good, but it's 5 stars.
It's 5 stars, $70 a night. So today we are going to talk about communication between the sexes, which I think will be great. But before that, many of you have been asking us what's going on here in Dubai. What's the difference? Is it a place you should check out? We're going to touch upon that and then dive into our topic. First, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Was it a good New Year?
Great New Year. I slept a lot.
No, but how about New Year's Eve night? How unique was that?
You mean walking all the way to the Burj Khalifa and sitting in a square?
Okay, so check this out, everyone. This is to at least to me, it was amazing. I want you to imagine 1 million people in this Corona time, of course, all gathering around the tallest building in the world, and everybody had their own square to stand within. So let me see if I'll share a picture of this.
The fireworks were amazing.
Fireworks were amazing.
I saw it in your stories, and I kept thinking, I need that contract to put the squares up.
Oh, well,
that's real money.
You just don't want the contract to clean the squares up.
Yeah. So here, let me share. I'm going to share this with you so you all understand. Because to Sandy and I, this was actually pretty amazing. So, guys, can you see that?
Yep.
Okay. So each person had their own square that they stood with. I want you to understand 1 million people, without any hesitation,
squared up.
They did. And they didn't violate other people's squares. This was one of the most organized events that we have ever seen in our life.
Yep, there I am, sexy with my mask and all.
Yeah, there you are. We're all in our own squares. And you could see it was packed. I'm not sure if you can see the video. So people came in, and then the fireworks show was just insane. It was beautiful what we saw. But I want you to understand that I think this square thing kind of gives you an idea what Dubai is. Insanely organized, right?
Everything stays within its box. Everything is clean.
Like the stores we go into.
So beautiful. The groceries are all perfectly lined up. Like someone went with a little measure and went.
But like all the stores.
Is everything organized because how it's run by the family?
I think
it's run by Filipino people.
Yeah, it's all Filipino.
Yeah. They're the ones making it look really good.
Yeah, it's really the Filipinos, the Indians are the ones that work everywhere, and then Nepalese, the people from Nepal.
And Nepalese, correct.
Yeah, that's what you see everywhere. And everyone is kind.
Yes.
Everyone is very considerate of one another, which you would never see in the States. We check into a hotel, the hotel we're at, we've been here for 4 or 5 days. We walk in, they're all nice. We walk into the stores, how about the checkout clerk?
Oh my gosh.
They want to talk, they want to hang, and it's not because we're American, they want to talk to everyone. The biggest problem with this area is never plan on a 1-hour meeting.
No.
They want to talk.
Yeah.
Forever. So
even the staff.
Wow.
And it's wonderful because everyone's very social. Number 2, you never have to worry about anything being stolen out of your hotel room.
No, I love this law. This law should be implemented across the globe.
The law is this: if a person is accused of stealing something out of your room, being a hotel work staff, they get 1 year in jail. And then once they're released from jail, they're deported.
Bye-bye.
Done.
But what if the hotel guest just misplaced it?
That's too bad.
That's messed up.
It's messed up, but it works. That's the thing. So here, I left a tip on the bed, and the staff asked me if I forgot my money. He said, "Ma'am, you left your money on the bed." And I was like, "No, that's for you."
Yeah,
you don't have to worry that anything's going to be stolen. Ken dropped almost $200 at the gym, and someone ran up behind him and said, "You dropped your money."
Yeah,
I left my iPad at the gym on the treadmill. Didn't realize it for an hour. Called the gym, and they're like, "Oh yes, we have it for you at the front." Like there are no worries.
What about when guests steal from the hotel? Like I take the robes all the time.
Well, a lot
you
of
go to jail and
No,
you get deported.
he doesn't go to jail. Whoever was cleaning that room is going to that jail. So stay at the Ritz-Carlton. They do have the nicest robes. Just saying. Okay. First, I wanted to say that maybe because it is a police state, but we don't break the law. We're not doing drugs. We were walking back from the fireworks show at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Did you feel safe?
So safe. Like, la, 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 la.
Like if you're walking around Vegas or Chicago or
No.
Miami Beach
Or Venice, California.
no, but anywhere in the United States,
Horrible.
would you have felt safe?
Never. So just so you all know, we recently left Los Angeles. We were living in Playa del Rey, which is very close to Venice. I would say Ken and I did weekly, maybe 3 to 4 times a week, we would walk on the Vegas main part of Vegas, or Venice. Sorry, I'm all tired today.
Yeah, Venice.
Venice, on the main part of Venice, not Vegas. And just recently, we watched a documentary where the woman who's in charge of like housing and development and whatnot said that the murder rate in Venice is so bad that a family was just walking, some woman got shot and killed. People are being assaulted
Raped.
and robbed. Women are being raped consistently. The drugs are off the charts. The homeless people are like going crazy. And the worst part is it's not even the homeless. It's the gangs selling the drugs to the homeless. That is really what's making it super dangerous.
But that's not our topic today.
That's not our topic. But we would never feel safe today walking in Venice or Vegas. But we feel super fine here.
Well, actually you, and that's the most important.
That's even
For
more
a
important.
woman to feel
Exactly.
safe walking somewhere is pretty much of a shocker. And it
That's
is.
great.
Must be north of Washington.
What was that?
North of
Must be north of Washington Boulevard. Venice north as opposed to Washington.
I know, but I wouldn't feel safe her walking in Marina del Rey.
No.
I wouldn't feel safe with her walking in Playa del Rey by the beach or anything like that.
Yeah, and this is the main boardwalk in Venice. This is like that main strip that they're talking about.
But it's not just there. I mean, we in South Africa, in Johannesburg, or in Cape Town, you couldn't walk in the city. We didn't feel comfortable walking by the stadium.
Absolutely. In Egypt, I wouldn't feel comfortable.
Yeah, so
there's so many places.
It's a very weird feeling where you feel safe. You feel safe because one, there's cameras everywhere, but also if someone violates someone else's premise, they're deported unless they're an Emirati and they go to a very nice jail. But
the Emirati do.
They took the best of Europe, United States, and Asia, and they said, let's create it in Dubai. Not the whole country, by the way. I want to stress this because Eddie asked regarding gays. Being gay here is open. You're comfortable being gay here.
Wow.
But it's probably not like that in Abu Dhabi.
No.
It's probably not like that in other parts. So Dubai is a very unique part of UAE.
It's a pocket.
But it's leading the way. I'm just letting you know that Saudi Arabia is watching what's happening in Dubai. Kuwait is. Israel is everywhere. We see more people from Israel now with yarmulkes walking around, which is wonderful. And if you notice what just happened, maybe you don't see this, but Qatar has been this kind of this rogue area because it's supported all the terrorist groups like Hamas and all that. And they were basically banned from the GCC. That's the Gulf countries. And now they've reformed. And now they can fly over Saudi Arabia, which they weren't able to do. And they're opening up all the borders. This whole area of the world is opening up.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that my intuition's always said, pay attention to something and then just go after it. It could be from the stock market to different companies that are in startups to whatever. My intuition said, Sandy, we need to get out there. Something is going to happen that's going to be amazing. And we're seeing it.
Totally.
This is a part of the world which is blowing up. So we've talked about getting a second home or a prime home here and then somewhere else because you can't be here in the summer.
No.
Yeah,
I feel like to melt.
Yeah, it's we're starting the end of May to about September-ish. It's 40 degrees Celsius, over 100 degrees Fahrenheit on a regular basis. You just got to get out, and everyone get out. They leave. But last thing is, if you can't get out, everything is connected via tunnels.
It's so cool. Even the bus stops have air conditioning.
Yeah, so they plan the population. If they can't leave, they're prepared to stay there. So we'll keep you updated on more things that are going on. We expect to be here another week to 2 weeks. We're planning to go to Bali, but Bali's closed down because of Corona. That's the other thing. We don't hear about Corona here. People wear masks, which by the way, I love,
There's a 3,000 dirham fine,
which is
like
$1,000
$1,000
if you're not wearing a
if you're not
mask,
wearing one.
but people don't wear masks.
But I mean, they wear masks. It's not a big deal here.
It's not. It's really not. Gyms are open. Life is normal again here.
And the one thing that I hear most women ask is, don't we have to cover up if we go to Dubai? The answer is no. Even the local women here don't cover up. Some of them do, and they do it as a fashion statement. So the outfits that they wear, those black drapey things, are called abayas. And they have some of them that are thousands and thousands of dollars. And these women wear them like, look at my expensive abaya, booyah. Like, it's funny to watch it. So if you actually were to strip away their abayas and take away their headdresses, they have blue hair, they have earrings like crazy, they've got like blinged outfits and glittery shoes and the whole shebang. So,
or on the extreme, have we seen women pretty much dressed in nothing?
Oh God, we've seen women walking around in bikinis and short micro shorts, like tattoos all down the back. Like, people can do whatever they want here. It's pretty cool.
There's both extremes. So which I think is kind of beautiful. I know it sounds crazy. I didn't expect this, and you're going to think I'm a nut job for even saying this. I like hearing, there's a certain area that Sandy and I like going to. It's called Old Dubai, and there's a mosque there. And I like hearing the songs coming from the mosque because I've learned what it means. It's basically honoring life and how beautiful, and it's calming. It's not, like, I've been to really hardcore Islamic countries, and the mosques singing the speakers are crinkly and it's horrible. Here it's actually soothing. It's like, oh, this sounds really nice.
Well, the guy had vocal lessons from Stephen Harm's course.
Yeah, of course he did. And in the mall, they have Islamic music playing and Christmas music and Sinatra playing. So it's like this in the mall, you're walking around, it's like a hodgepodge of music, and it was really nice actually. But okay, enough of that.
It's funny.
Any questions from anybody? Nothing? Okay. Should we talk about our topic?
Yeah, let's do it.
I have, since being with Sandy, have realized
that he's very smart.
That I'm unable, or was unable, to communicate with women properly.
And now he can. See how the intelligence has just risen?
I didn't realize how horribly I was speaking to women, and not even in a verbal way, in a non-verbal way. I was doing things that were offensive, and I wasn't doing it intentionally, but consistently I was doing things that would push women away or want them to hate me even more. And since I run a men's group, boy, it gave them so much ammo to go after me. And I thought today, for the beginning of the year, we should really talk about verbal and non-verbal communication and the differences. And in both same-sex groups on the women's side, because women, when they're together, they do something radically different than what men do when they're together. And then how we bridge between the two. And I thought this would be a great topic because as I started bringing up some of the differences, you started laughing, going, of course. And I go, really? And I think a lot of us guys are just numb, or we don't really even know what we do is so wrong. Make sense?
Makes total sense.
Okay. So we're all gonna have fun with this. This is
I'm having so much fun already.
What I did is I put a little chart together of some of the differences that men and women do. So first, what I wanted to do is I want to talk about when men and women are together in clusters. So when guys are together and when women are together, okay?
Yes.
So the first thing is when women are together, they're likely to acknowledge points made by other women. Oh, yeah. Sandy said this. Oh, Sandy, oh, Allison, that's really, really great. Mm-hmm. Women tend to share when someone else shared an opinion. You've noticed this?
Yes.
When guys are together, they are likely to interrupt, heckle, and insult one another. Oh, dude, I can't believe you said that. You're an idiot. I did this in the car the other day with a bunch of guys, right? It wasn't that we were complimenting. It's like, you're such a ridiculous fool to even think that. Women don't do that.
No, it's insulting for a woman to do that.
So why is that so unique? It's almost as if men are showing an attitude when they're together, where women are showing compassion.
So it has a lot to do with the nurturing factor. Women love to nurture and uplift. I mean, our role generally in society are to be mothers. So we nurture and uplift each other constantly. I mean, obviously you have those hater women that say nasty things, and usually that's just a reflection of themselves. So we're not even going to go there about those women, but generally good women will say things to uplift and nurture. Men, on the other hand, their goal in life is to challenge each other. And that's why they have to heckle and tease and do all of that. There were some studies done that said for a man to become his truest potential, he needs to be teased by other men. He
Really?
needs to. So if you are coddling your sons or coddling your friends and nurturing them the way a mother would, you're doing your male friends and your family a disservice. You gotta heckle them.
It was really interesting. We did a hang the other day. It was 8 guys and 1 woman who wasn't supposed to be there. And
It wasn't me.
it wasn't you. And we all started teasing one another on what we were talking about. And it came to the woman, it was almost like, oh, we can't do that.
She would have been like,
And made it so uncomfortable
Yeah.
to be in that type of situation. Now, one thing I do want to say that it's important that I preach inside metal is making sure each one of us give credit where credit is due. So if Stephen has said something that was fascinating and we go, Stephen, you're totally right. Thank you so much. Give him credit, but still tease him if you want, because it's necessary, right? Us guys do this.
It builds strength as well. It builds sort of when you're teased as a man, it gives you endurance and stamina, and it allows you to sort of take it, right? So
Okay, so it's acceptable then in those clusters.
Yes.
Now what happens is when it's mixed, if guys have a propensity of doing that and they're in a mixed group.
as long as the woman understands that's the way men think, then she can roll with the
Whoa,
punches.
wait, you just said something that,
But most women don't.
there you go.
And that's the problem. Then the women get all upset. Oh my God.
Yeah, well, I mean, I hear you talk to people like Mighty Paul already. You guys actually tease one another. It's very interesting. No, but you almost like change to be more accepting on the way a man talks.
That's because I understand the way men speak.
Yeah, okay, got it. So you're saying the women almost need to bend, not to where the men need to change.
No, because we don't want to discourage men from being that way. And if a woman is knocking the guy, stop it, you guys are being mean, you're hurting my feelings, all that, she is making him feel that he shouldn't be that way. And that's not the way it should be. So if she understands it's the way men are, then roll with it. But the same flip side, men should have compassion and understand. You could probably tease a little bit of the woman, but if you go too far, you might hurt feelings.
Have you guys experienced this then in groups where groups of guys, you have a tendency to tease and razz on? And the women out there, do you have the same thing where you feel like the women are there to support and almost compliment or motivate one another? Do you have the same, Stephen? When you're with the guys, are you kind of in a jovial, joking around type of place?
Well, I am now, but I honestly didn't ever really experience that until I joined metal.
Ah,
So
Because you were always around women.
I never had that type of camaraderie before.
well, that's a good point, because you were always around women most
You
of the
were
cases.
always around women, Stephen.
That's
And
interesting.
opposite.
Women won't do it. You can
Women and
look at the way boys are raised in a female environment. A lot of them kind of wimpy. Not always. There's always
It's true.
exceptions to the
It's true.
rule. But if you look at a situation where it's the single son and all women, girls, sisters, moms, everything, they don't have a male role model, often the guys can be a little wimpy. Now, like I said, that's not consistent. That's not every single time. There's always exceptions to the rule. And sometimes men will step out of that. But that generally happens once they start making those masculine connections and they start bonding with other men, hanging out with guys outside of the home.
Okay, got it. All right, next one. These are so fun. Women. Okay, here it is. In conversations, women have the goal to be liked. Okay. In conversations, men have the goal to be respected.
Yes, I
Oh
can
yeah,
see that for sure.
I agree with this 100%.
I think women still seek respect, but on a level of wanting to really be appreciated and liked and valued.
But liked is so important because they want to be re-invited back. They don't want to be pushed off. Where a man almost
Exception. They want to be accepted.
yeah, where men almost want to say, hey, look at me, I'm in this room, I'm the center, I'm respected, trust what I'm saying, I'm the voice of authority. They may not be liked.
A lot of times they are not.
They're not liked. They're not, but they want that respect.
That's true.
Again, now, how does a man talk to a woman if he's after respect and she's after being liked? How do you bridge that gap then properly?
You know, it goes again back to education. If a woman knows that men want to be respected, she's going to speak to him in a way that's going to assert respect. And in return, he's going to like her.
Yeah.
It's kind of an easy one.
Do you notice one, Aradhana? Are you in that same place where you feel like you are going after wanting to be liked, or are you pushing on the respect side?
Both. I think, I think it's important to have that balance. I think the like factor is there quite high. I agree with you, but respect is definitely there as well. It's never just one.
Exactly.
I think they go hand in hand.
Exactly.
Nice Mardi Gras mask.
Oh, thank you. I got that in Venice,
On the
actually,
Mardi Gras.
in the actual Venice.
Oh, that's from Venice. Ah, okay,
Yeah.
Venice. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, Venice. Did you go there?
Yeah,
Did you love it?
I did. I did love it.
I love Venice. I really do. Just don't go in like June or July. It's kind of stinky. Just saying. Okay, here's a shocker. Here we go. Listen to this one.
All right, I'm shocked.
Women sit close to each other, look directly at each other when they're speaking to each other.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right? Ready for this? Men sit at an angle when speaking at each other,
I can see
and
that.
they don't look directly at each other's eyes.
I can see that too.
What is that about?
Women are all about connection.
Mighty Paul, do you look into the guy's eye that you're talking to and sit right across from them or right next to them? No.
He's like, no, I love that answer.
The spacing, and I don't even think it's a physical spacing. I think the minute you go eye to eye contact with the dude, you quickly look away for whatever reason. It's like, all right, I'm not checking your eyes out. Like sometimes I gaze a little too long at guys. It's because I'm blind and I'm trying to read their expression because I'm squinting most of the time. Eddie will tell you this. I do this and he goes, put your glasses on. But it's weird.
It's so true. Men are about space and that masculine energy and owning that space. And like, yeah, I get it. Women are about connection and being nurturing and connected to each other.
Well, it's kind of funny. Okay, here goes to my caveman brain. If a woman looks into my eyes and sits close to me, she's hitting on me.
Totally.
Yeah, but they're not intentionally hitting on me. That's just the way they, yeah. Oh, great. Now we're friends. We're in friend zone. But this is where guys totally think, oh yeah, she's hitting on me.
You know, it's funny. So guys think that, and that's actually not the case. That's just the way
Of
women
course not.
communicate with each other. They lean in, they make eye contact, they touch. Women are very touchy. Not all of them, of course, there's always the exception, but women tend to be more touchy. So there's the issue that arises is generally a woman will be with a man that she doesn't know very well, and she'll be engaging with him the way she would with another woman. She'll be leaning in, she'll be making eye contact, she might touch, and the guy's like, oh, she wants me. And that's not the case.
No.
If she
I get
wants you,
slapped
you'll
when I
know.
get touchy feely.
What was that?
We get slapped when we get touchy feely, trying to emulate the woman.
Oh, for sure, because it just doesn't work the other way around.
Oh God, no.
But a woman will let you know when she's into you, and that will usually be not just touching and eye contact and all that. You'll notice little tiny signs such as hair flipping. A woman will flip her hair like crazy when she's totally into you. It's a constant adjust because she wants to groom herself in a way that makes you notice that she looks really good. So a lot of hair flipping will happen. The touching might happen as well, but it'll be a longer touching. And actually, if a woman's flirting with you, she won't make eye contact. So guys, if a woman's looking at you and she's seriously looking at you, she's focused. That's communication. She's not hitting on you. A woman that's hitting on you will look away and be shy.
Damn.
So if you are in a conversation with a woman and you think she's hot, and she's touching you, she's leaning in and she's engaging, she's not into you, give up. But if she's looking away, she's being shy, and she's flipping her hair, that's a sign.
Where were you when we were teenagers? All us
I was
men.
flipping my hair and looking away, and you idiots weren't figuring it out. Ask Aradhana. Aradhana, is this not true?
Oh my God, you guys are funny. Okay. Next, you ready? Women are more comfortable speaking in private, where men are more comfortable speaking in public.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen this, right? We do speaking classes, and we notice that women, hey, let's talk. Guys, Hey, I want to say something to all of you. It's like all of a sudden there's like two-dimensional type conversations. Women want that small cluster, men want the large audience.
Yeah, I think that a lot of that has to do with confidence. So men tend to be more confident naturally. It's just the way they are. It has a lot to do with their ego and just it's just a masculine trait. Women tend to lack confidence. So they will say something in private or pull you aside because they're building their confidence, or they're not confident at all. They're afraid of the judgment of the room.
But this is important. We need both skills. So how can men cross over and how can women cross over?
You mean, how can men stop being so bold and brazen and just speak their mind?
Yeah, and be more, you can't stop that. But how can they cross over and have more of an intimate conversation without them, one, thinking they're getting hit on by the women? I'm serious. Even to this day, I am in a great relationship with Sandy. I love her with all my heart. But when a girl comes in and starts talking to me like this, I go, oh my God, she knows I'm in a relationship with Sandy. She knows. Why is she hitting on me? Well, she's not, because she's not flicking her hair around, okay? She's intense in a conversation, but I, even to this day, read it wrong.
That's okay. That's your caveman kicking in.
Oh my
And
God.
if you didn't have that, we'd probably have a problem.
All right. But how can men and women make the crossover when it comes to public speaking and vice versa, private speaking?
You know, for men, if private speaking is important, then it's just a
Don't you think it
mindfulness
is?
thing. It just depends on what you're speaking about. But for women, generally, it comes from confidence. Women need to really flex their confident muscles. They need to start practicing the art of raising your hand and speaking up.
Do you think, and I'm not sure where society is today, but if a woman starts to have more confidence, starts to be more boisterous, do men start to feel more intimidated about them and almost saying, oh my God, there she goes showboating again. There she goes stealing the show.
It could happen from conditioning, but if that is the case and you're a man and you're thinking that, it's time to reprogram your brain.
Yeah, there's more intimidation on their behalf.
That's
They're being
sign of them.
intimidated.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a big problem right there.
Exactly.
Okay, are you enjoying this, guys? Is any questions? I know we're diving into this and we're kind of going all over the place. Alan, are you okay with all this?
Yeah, I'm evaluating my role in each of these situations, and how do you bring up your feminine side when you want to communicate or be feelings. Feelings are something that women are just die to explore, and guys are a little more reticent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and why is that?
Well, they don't want to talk about it, or they're avoiding things, and but to their detriment. If you have to be an empath to be able to really fully experience life.
Well, I think you bring up a really good point. Why is it that men have a hard time talking about their emotions?
Well, let's go back to the basics.
Okay.
A long time ago, when there were caves and there were wolves and people wore wolves to stay warm in their caves. Okay. The man's goal was to go out and hunt and to find that food. And so he had to be very laser focused, and he had to be very, diligent about it. He had to go get his weapons and wear his man cave outfit and do it, right? The girls would stay back in the village and they would take care of the kids. So they had to be more empathic because they had to know if there was something wrong with the child and he was sick, or if there's some communication issue between the other women. And they had to relay information to women via messaging and storytelling and action. And it had to be a one-hit wonder. Like, I'm going to tell you this one time and you got to remember it, because if I go out to the forest to pick some more berries and that wolf that my husband didn't kill earlier comes back and slays me, you need to know how to make the butternut squash soup. Okay, whatever. So the point is, we had to share information and we had to be empathic and we had to be able to do all of the nurturing and the caregiving. The men, their goal was to hunt and to protect. That's kind of it.
Women gather.
So yeah, women gather. So nurturing and caring and feeling, it was necessary for our survival. For men, it wasn't. If they were so feely, oh, I hope he doesn't hurt the wolf, we can't bring it home and wear it, you're gonna have a problem. So it's in the DNA. It's just in the way that we're, brought up through evolution. And that's fine. So for a guy to be more in touch with his feminine self, his feelings, is also fine now, but you just have to tap into that and just be aware about it. And women now are starting to get into that masculine role because now they're hunting, they're going to work, they're singularly focused. When you're singularly focused and you're in driven mode, your testosterone levels increase, your cortisol levels.
In a woman.
Yeah, exactly. And so you become more masculine. It's just the way it is because you're going after the hunt. A job is the hunt. You will also see this in women who are seeking a man. So you hear of like the cougars, right? Or what do they call them? There's cougars, there's leopards, I don't remember. Whatever.
Panther.
Cougar will go after man and she is in hunt mode. That's where she's like, hello, you. Notice the hair flipping. And she'll be all over
Am I reading
him.
this right now? Are you into me?
There's a hair flipping.
Okay,
There's
I
hair
got it.
flipping.
I got it. Okay.
But she'll be more masculine about it. And the guys are like, whoa. Some guys are turned off by that. Some guys are turned on by that. But it just depends on the energy in the
Is there
moment and
a-
the purpose.
Is there a feminine in a gay relationship?
Oh,
Where The guy,
absolutely.
there's a feminine masculine in the gay relationship?
100%.
Same.
100%.
100%?
There you go.
100%. I would tell you, like, a lot of people think this is just what I know. No, because I've never been in the closet, so I've never been illusioned to what I see. And I'm never turned on by a masculine guy because I'm the masculine guy.
Yes, you are.
And so my whole thing is like, I would never be turned on. I mean, it's not that someone's not attractive. Attractive and being turned on by them is two different things. And when it comes to, on a normal basis, like I used to go to a lot of meetups just with friends when I wanted to meet people in LA because I was new here. And I noticed just by being observant, most guys will not talk to another guy or a stranger unless somebody breaks the ice. And I have no problem because when I have my work head on, I'm in charge 100%. And when I'm not in work mode, like I'm introverted. I truly am a private person, introverted. But when I'm, in a room negotiating something I've never even worked on before, it doesn't matter. I'm there to win. So I'm two different people. So I've noticed so many times, like people at meetups, they're just standing around, with their little badges on, like waiting for someone to talk to them. I walk up to everybody because I'm in work mode. So, and
Yeah.
that breaks the ice. And, and guys are very competitive. So they see.
In the gay space, do gay men know who's dominant and who's feminine?
Yeah, body language, more or less.
It's body language.
Yeah.
Elton, the same thing? Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, absolutely. I tend to take over and be more in control and things like that. And then there's times though that just need to be, your softer side comes out, your more feminine side comes out and things like that. So yeah, so I somewhat play a split role depending on the situation as well. So so it all depends who the audience is, what kind of situation I'm in, and that I'm more controlled. Whereas my husband, he's actually somewhat more straight, I think. So so he's very introverted, very shy, very intellectual, but he's not. I think I'm shy, but some people would tend to disagree. But he is more the introverted person and more shy and very quiet and things. But we'll say, if he needs to take a stance on something, he will.
But I'm just curious, what happens in a relationship then? Does the feminine switch between the two of them?
Absolutely.
So
it can happen.
Because it happens with even us at times where you become more dominant in something and I take.
Yeah, I do.
Right.
Cooking.
But I understand that your space is what becomes your domain. And I get that.
What was that? I'm making the butter.
No idea what that means. Off camera stuff, I guess.
There is always a flipping and a flopping. And like I said, this isn't about men or women. This is about masculine energy and feminine energy.
Yeah.
So usually the one that's in the charge, that's hunting, is masculine. The one that is feeling and thinking and planning, that's feminine. And the roles can switch. It can switch between men and women. And you'll also find relationships where the woman is very masculine. Generally, her guy is going to be very feminine. The problem arises when he is not supposed to be feminine. So if he's a masculine man, but he has now been put in a feminine position and she is being the masculine, that's where there's.
That was my old relationship, actually. It was. My old relationship, I was the feminine at home. I did. It was kind of shocking. Hey, wait.
Emmanuel's like, yes. Yes.
Yeah, Emmanuel knows. He was there.
Oh, she ran circles around you, had you wrapped around her little finger like a little hamster wheel.
Yeah.
Jesus,
That took a lot of conditioning to get that out of him.
Thanks, Emmanuel. Nice to have you pop in there.
Thanks, Emmanuel. Fist bump.
All right, let's go back to this idea of the storytelling. When women are together, they share stories that feature the family and people they know. And when guys get together, they focus on action and conflict.
Yes.
And this goes to something, and Sandy does this all the time, go up, he's reliving the hunt.
Yes.
Let's go back to where you started regarding women. When women are together, it goes back to the caveman days. And it was really important for them to be great storytellers of what directions were.
So it's about sharing information. So women will gossip
And repeat.
and repeat. Well, not yes and no. Women will gossip because gossiping is sharing information. Let me tell you about her. And it's a warning. I'm going to tell you about her because she did these things. She might steal your husband, or she might do this to your kids, or she did this to me. And it's sharing that information, and it has evolved into gossip, which is not that great if you really think about it. It's horrible. But the point is,
But Kim Kardashian is going to divorce Kanye West. Apparently.
well,
it's
rumor,
gossip.
it's
I'm just saying. Okay.
It's gossip. But if it happens, I told you first,
Okay,
right?
go ahead.
So that is how they're sharing their information. And for men, they want to relive the hunt. So women have to share the information through gossip and storytelling. Men will relive the hunt through going through that experience. And how that looks today is, have you guys think about this. Is there a story that you love to tell?
It's your story.
It's your story. Okay. It doesn't matter what it is. You don't technically have to be hunting. So one of Ken's favorite stories that he loves to tell, that I've heard a bajillion times, is the story about when his mom caught him stripping at the nightclub and made him quit.
Yes.
Okay. I've heard that story a bajillion times. Ken loves to tell it.
And you let me tell it, by the way. Thank you.
Because I know when he tells it, he's reliving the hunt. That means as he's telling the story, he's increasing his testosterone levels. He's getting adrenaline going. He's excited. His energy is going up. That's actually super healthy for his body and his heart and his soul. So it's like, oh.
By the way, if you don't know the story,
it.
if you don't know it, I could tell it to you now. No.
Yeah.
But it's called reliving the hunt,
Yeah.
because you would, in primordial days, relive that hunt going after that wildebeest or that buffalo and how we did it. We cornered it and we got it into that pit and we stabbed it over and over again.
Yeah.
That was so important to tell that story.
Think of basketball players, or even not professional, but guys playing basketball will tell the story about they made that perfect game win, that they got that winning point. It was so perfect.
That
They
was
ran
reliving the
it,
hunt.
they slammed something, yeah, and they get all excited. They're reliving the hunt, even if they're talking about something they did when they were in high school and they're now 70.
And this is important, guys. You would know this when I say, let's do that speed to cool. What is your speed to cool? I want you to relive that hunt in front of that audience so you could feel that, look at me, look what I am. And that's important. Women don't do that. Reliving a hunt's not necessary.
No, but we do tell stories, and we expect you to remember our stories. So one signature thing that you can notice, if you're paying attention to guys, you'll hear that story that you hear over and over again. Women always know, because like, oh, he's telling that story again. The problem is a lot of women don't understand that he's telling the story to relive the hunt. So it's actually physically making him healthy. It's probably blueberries, because I've been eating blueberries.
There you go.
How often do you,
Okay, so he's physically becoming healthier by reliving the hunt. What you'll notice that women do is when they're telling stories, because they don't like to repeat themselves, they will apologize to other people in the room, mainly women, but it'll also include men, for telling the story again. So if you pay attention when you're in a room of women and you've been told a story and another group of people come in, she'll go, do you mind if I tell the story again? Or I know you've already heard the story. I'm sorry, I'm telling the story again. That's because they're going to apologize, because they feel bad for having you hear it again, because they're not reliving a hunt, they're passing information. And you've already heard this information. Do you mind if I tell it again? So it's really interesting when you
guys never apologize.
No, guys are like, I'll tell you again.
Guys, I gotta tell the story again. I don't care what you think. It's not even an apology. It's like, I'm doing it. Where women will say, I really am sorry, but I have to say this. They apologize.
They do.
Fascinating to hear that, but pay attention to it.
Pay attention. If you pay attention, you'll now hear it over and over and over again.
But
You might even catch, as a woman, you'll catch yourself saying it.
but you need to recognize when a woman does that. You
Yeah.
need to listen.
You need to listen.
She's conveying information that's real important. This kind of goes back to blueberries and blackberries, because they would tell the story of what plant you shouldn't eat from, because if you do, it would kill you, or a mushroom you shouldn't eat. That's the story that they're repeating, because it's a cautionary story.
Yes.
It's to protect you.
So here's the way that this translates to men and women, or masculine and feminine, or whatever, however you want to look at it. If the feminine is telling you a story, guys, and you're not listening, and then the next day you bring home the wrong thing, or the same day you bring home the wrong thing from the grocery store, she's pissed. Okay, she's pissed because she was very clear on the shelf with the jams. It's the far left side. It's the jam in the square jar with the pink label and the neon green font that says Huckleberry. And you got to make sure you get that one, not the one in the round jar, because the round jar sucks. And if you get the one in the round jar, she's going to be pissed. So get the one in the square jar with the pink. Yeah. Okay. So you got it. And you bring home the round jar.
That's a very specific story. Did Ken do that?
No, he's got a whole nother avocado story.
Oh, yeah, avocado's a different story. We'll talk about that.
Point is, if you do that, men, pay close attention. If a woman's asking you to get something from the grocery store, you can save your life by asking her to send you a picture or text you exactly the words that are on the label. And then you need to literally hold your phone next to it and look at every single millimeter to make sure you got it correct. Because if you get one thing off, if the butters look exactly the same and you've got unsalted and she asked for salted, you're screwed, okay? Now, here's why this is
Ellen's going, thank God I'm gay.
No, it's the same thing for guys. Feminine will be pissed.
I have a question.
Now I kind of wish I was gay.
I have a question.
Okay, hold on one second. Let me
Let
wrap
him
this
finish
up.
the story.
Let me finish the story. Okay. So if you screw it up, this is what's really going on in her mind, or in the feminine's mind. You are a flipping moron. And this is why. When women tell information, they tell it once to another woman, knowing the woman's going to get it right. She's going to take notes. She's going to remember it. She's going to mentally check it. Because women have to save the village from whatever they eat and how they've managed the household. So if I told Aradna to go pick a specific berry and she didn't pay attention and she brought the wrong berry home, she has now killed the entire village. And I only have that one opportunity to tell her because something might happen to me. So if the guy went to the grocery store and picked up the wrong thing, I, as a woman, think he's a moron because now he has killed our entire household. Even if it's unsalted versus salted butter. In my caveman brain, he has killed the whole household, and he's an absolute moron, and he doesn't care about my life. He doesn't care about the children. He doesn't care about the dog. All he cares about is himself because he's a numbskull idiot. So men, if you don't want to be a numbskull, if she's giving you instructions, write it down, ask for a picture, be very thorough. If you're not sure, take a picture of what you're at the store buying, send it back to her. Is this the right one? Is this the one you want? Because if you don't, you will be punished.
Okay, Ragnar, what do you mean it's a true story? What happened?
So no, it does kind of sound like the end of the world, but it kind of is in our mind. So we're not being over dramatic. It's true. And I mean, I'm not going to repeat what Sandy said, but it's essentially, we were very specific.
By the way, notice the apology for something she didn't even say. I'm not going to repeat it. She just proved my point.
I still have a question.
Okay, go for it.
All right. So you all know me. I would have no problem saying to the woman, hey, can I get a picture? Can I get all the information I need? I would have no problem with that. What I have a problem with is I know that if I do that, she's going to go, really, Stephen? Really? You need a picture? Really? That's what you need? You can't, seriously, that's what I experience.
Okay, but that's probably conditioning you've put in place with her.
Oh.
That you're an idiot.
Now, here's the thing. A lot of times the women don't know this about themselves. They don't know why they are so upset when you bring the wrong thing home. You are actually doing the right thing by asking for it. But if she doesn't know these things that I'm telling you, you need to educate her. So the best way to do that is
You need to mansplain to her. Is that what you're saying?
yes, you need to say, honey, I always get this wrong. I screw this up. I want to make sure I get you exactly the right bread. Can you send me a picture of it? I don't want to screw it up. So now you're taking the blame away from her in her fact that she has no idea, right? Her ignorance. You are salvaging yourself because now you're looking like a badass. She's like, oh, he has the foresight to make sure he gets it exactly right. Then she'll be like, okay, let me send you a picture.
What Sandy does, so I don't fail, she just sends the picture.
Because I know he's going to fail. But I also know it doesn't always work. So here's an example. His son, Nikolai, went to the store to get me peanut butter. I only like one brand of peanut butter from Trader Joe's. Like it's a life or death scenario. So knowing he's going to mess it up because he's a man, I sent him a photograph of the peanut butter. And I specifically said, this is the peanut butter.
Chunky.
It is organic. It is chunky. It is salted. Make sure you bring back, and I wrote it 3 times, organic, salty, chunky, Trader Joe's peanut butter. Guess what happened when he got home?
But Skippy was cheaper.
No, it was the same brand. It was organic, creamy,
Oh, yeah.
salted, Trader Joe's peanut butter. Ken, what was my reaction?
This isn't the chunky one.
I went ballistic. I can't eat it.
It was the end of the world.
And Nikolai was like, now I can tell you, never ever again has he brought me the wrong peanut butter.
It's the chunky one.
It's
I know which
always
one.
the
I know which one it is.
salted,
Yeah.
organic, chunky
Yeah.
Trader Joe's
Yeah.
peanut butter.
Forever.
Forever. So
Laura Scudder's good too.
What was that?
Laura Scudder's organic chunky peanut butter is the bomb.
okay, so just
Oh,
know,
no.
Alan, if she asks for a specific brand and you go, but this one's better, you are on an all-out war. That
Oh.
coffee you like hot will be cold. That bed you like made will not be made. And that sex that you wanted that night, it's just probably going to be brief.
It's a
and not
headache.
very
It's a
fun,
headache.
if at all.
It's a headache night. Okay, can we now talk about the love
Eddie
bag?
Paul has a question.
Okay,
Yes.
yes, sir.
No, I just wanted to say my early years of marriage, she sent me, she wanted Nutella, right? So then when I bought the Nutella,
There's different Nutellas.
I was off by 250 grams. The picture looked like the 250 grams. She wanted the 600 mil one. I'm like, I think this is right. So it's Nutella. How can you fuck up a Nutella? But I did, right? So I took the Nutella home. Ever since that day, whenever she sends me a photo of something she wants, I buy all versions of it. I don't even ask anymore.
Brilliant.
I buy the small, the medium, and the large. And when I get home, I'm like, oh, it was on sale. And I covered, that's how I cover it. So it's there.
So
Well,
I've made a decision.
Amazing.
I've made a decision. I'm not getting married. That's it.
That's lineup tonight.
That's
So all the
And I may and Eddie and Elton, I may be joining your side. I'm ready.
It's
It's
true,
much
right?
easier. We don't have a secret language.
But now you know. Now you know.
By the way, still the best line tonight is how can you fuck up on Nutella?
Yeah.
Okay, last thing, guys, I want to talk about when a woman says, I need to talk. Oh, we need to talk. Us guys, because I get this all the time. One of the guys is going to call me up and I got to talk. And I'm not exaggerating. It's almost like it's bullet point stuff. Like bam, bam, bam. Oh, these 3 things, great. Let's just handle them. Let's fix it and let's move on.
Fix it.
It's awesome. It's done. And then I could actually say, check. I went and helped Ryan out. I helped Mike out because we had the
You
bullet
pound on
points.
your chest.
Yep, it was done. Not a problem. Matter of fact, it's done to where it's not even an issue later on.
Awesome. Solved.
However,
Game.
Ken, I need to talk. What does that mean, and how should I prepare myself?
So when a woman needs to talk, actually, she'll never ask you to talk unless it's something serious.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
generally, they'll just unload. And what that is we as women have a lot of things going on in our heads and feelings. And if we aren't hanging out with our girlfriends, more than one generally, meaning we're not gossiping, we're not sharing, we're not talking about those things, it's bottled up. We have to get it out or we will pop, okay? So what happens is the man comes home from work or hanging out with his buddies or whatever it is, and she's there and she's all excited because she gets to dump out all of her stuff that's going on in her mind on him. It's amazing. She's been waiting for it all day. She's been watching her soap opera. She's got all the gossip going. She's had calls with her girlfriends. It's all bottled up and she's got to dump it. And you are the perfect person because you just walked in. You're there for the dumping. So, men, when you walk in, she will barf all of her stuff on you for as long as it takes. And it's torture, I know. I've seen it. I've heard it myself. I've had my girlfriends come and I'm like, oh, stop. Okay, so here's how you fix that problem. You create the invisible trash bag or bucket, whatever you want to call it. So make a big circle with your arms in your mind. Don't do it in front of her. She's like, what are you doing? Okay, so make the dumping bag. Open that bag. Smile at her. Well, first of all, if you can't take it, you can always tell her, you know, honey, I need about 5 to 10 minutes to decompress, and then I'm there for you. I'll hear everything you have to say. So you can set that boundary, but if you're okay right when she walks in, then you can let her dump, then do it then. Okay, so now open your trash bag. Tell me everything. That's all you need to say. Open your trash bag in your mental brain. She's going to go, my friend did this and that, and then I had a broken nail in the car, and today it was so stressful, and she's going to dump it. You're going to let it go in the trash bag. Don't interrupt. Don't say anything. Don't give advice. Don't give your opinion. Do not ask questions. Just look at her. And let her dump. When she's finished, if, by the way, some women will go for hours, so you can give her a time limit. I have 15 minutes, I have 10 minutes, I have 20 minutes. You can set the time limit. Let her dump. And then, wow, that sounds like a lot. Is there anything you need me to do? She's going to say, no, that's it. I just needed to tell you that. Awesome. I love you, baby. You're done. Wow. That trash bag, put it on instant delete. Crunch. Throw it out. Literally forget everything she said. She's never going to bring it up again. You don't need to give her advice unless she said, yes, I want your opinion. And you don't ever have to worry it's going to come up again because it won't. Because she has just vomited all her garbage on you. And that's it. You're done.
Yeah, except when your first reaction is, now what have I done?
Don't mention anything.
Don't ask any
Or no, you're just sitting there waiting for the story to unfold, and you know.
We never unfold. That's not that you're going too deep in the caveman brain. She just needs to dump. That's what I'm telling you. Women have this thing where we just have, if we don't have anyone to share it with, we just have to blah. And I've done that with Ken. Oh my God, my friend called me. She was so annoying. She was going on and on. It was all negative and she wouldn't shut up and blah, 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 blah. And I'm dumping. And Ken's like, And at the end, I was like, all right, I'm done. Let's snuggle.
What is this person?
I actually know the scientific reason about this one, believe it or not. So UCLA did a study that the average female has 15,000 words she uses in a day, the average male 10,000. So if a male goes to work and comes back and has used up all 10,000 words, the woman still has 5,000 left and she must use it. So you become the reason. No, I mean, it's real, seriously. Women with their extra 5,000 words, they have to use it. So if they don't use it on you, so agreeing with Sandy, I learned real quick, I had a couple catchphrases that I would rotate with my wife in order for that dumping to occur, that 5,000 word sponge, right? So I'd say, this is really important to you, is it? And then I go, right, I'm not even paying attention. I'm just going, Because 5,000 words have to be expunged from her system. And once it's done, the next day, expect another 5,000 when you come home. That's why they created happy hour for men.
Exactly. Bingo. Mighty Paul has nailed it. That's exactly what happened.
It's science. Ken, I'm going to send you the study. It's scientific.
I want to see it. I need to see it.
So guys, when the woman comes to you and she needs to verbally diarrhea,
Let her do it.
let her do it. Don't. And here's the thing. So we were talking about opinions last night.
Oh, yeah.
This is a big one, guys. I'm sure who here has experienced where a woman asks you for your opinion, you give her the answer. She does not do it, and you're pissed.
Oh, yeah.
How many of you have experienced that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what is that all about? Men will give their opinion based off of their own personal life experience, their thought process on it. They'll spend time. That's why a guy will be quiet, think about it for a while, and then come back with the best answer. And the best answer is backed by, that's called an asshole. Exactly. It's an asshole. So here's what it is. A man will give his answer because he's putting himself behind that answer. So for example, if he says to her, if she's driving her car down the street and something happens to the tire and she calls her husband who's too far away to get to her, honey, oh my God, something's wrong with the tire. And he thinks about it. He goes, okay, I know how to fix this. And he's going to give her the answer to fixing the tire. And it doesn't work. Let's just say whatever he says is actually doesn't work. He's going to pay to get it fixed. He's going to get off his ass. He's going to drive all the way out there. He's going to do whatever it takes to fix what didn't work from his best answer. Okay. But if the woman's driving down the road, calls her and honey, it's not working. And he says, this is what you have to do. And she goes, okay, hangs up the phone and does not do it. He's pissed, especially if it doesn't work out. And the reason for that is women ask for your opinion because we go through opinions very quickly and flippantly. So we consistently change our minds. That you guys have experienced that, I'm sure, where a woman will say, I want to do this. And then 5 minutes later, she's like, no, I want to do that. No, I don't feel like it anymore. I'm going to do this. Okay. So our opinions and minds as women change like that. And it has to for the flexibility of raising a family and nurturing and all that good stuff. Men will make a decision and stick to it. Okay. So know, men, that if a woman asks you for her opinion, you have to be very clear. Are you going to take my advice? Because if you don't, I'm not going to give it to you right now, because a woman will listen to you, make her own assessment, and not take it. So women, if you're going to ask for an opinion of a man, only ask if you are going to actually take his advice. Because if you're not going to take his advice, you are offending him and he's going to be pissed at you later.
Welcome to today's session.
One of my good friends in Australia has a line with his wife always, whenever she goes on a tangent or 6 different things, and by the end of the conversation, they somehow are giving money to a nonprofit, going to India and Italy, and he has no idea how the hell he got to that point, right? But he always used to use a line, and that was, honey, slow down. 1 train track at a time. I can only do 1 train track. You're on 6 different train tracks. I'm on only 1. Can we come back to 1 train track?
And that's you put it in such a beautiful way. Women are diffuse, which means we can multitask different things. So again, it goes back to that caveman, right? So while he's out hunting, he's singularly focused on the hunt. Yes, he can do many things. He can watch his buddies to make sure that they are hurting that animal. And then he can draw his bow and arrow while he's still paying attention to the arrow, and he can to the animal, and he can shoot it and he can kill it. He can do all those multitasking things for that one focus point. Okay. A woman back at camp, she is cooking. So there's heat, there is food. She has to make sure the food doesn't burn. Out of the corner of her eye, she's watching the baby, make sure the baby doesn't walk too far to get eaten by that wolf that her husband didn't get because he wasn't paying attention to what she said earlier. She is making sure that all the other women are building the hut properly and that the sister is doing whatever she's literally multitasking. Meaning a woman can go out and see and hear and do multiple things in one instant. And a man can do multiple things in that one task he's got. So a woman will tell a story that will literally take you on a, and guys are like, oh my God, what the hell is happening? But if you really listen to her, she will always come back around to her initial point,
So
no matter how many tangents she has.
So what you're saying, only a woman could have written Harry Potter.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Absolutely.
That's what this whole hour was about. Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
And that's it, everyone.
Best
We
movie.
want to welcome to the new year. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Awesome.
And we'll see you, I guess. Oh, by the way, we do have a new show coming out.
There's something in my teeth.
No, nothing. We have a new show coming out for metal from Dubai. His name is Hamed. He is the host of The Insider, which is the biggest gossip show out here.
Yeah, it's a gossip show.
He's going to be doing his own show starting, I think, on Wednesdays or Tuesdays. So he'll be doing a show from Dubai, which we're
Talking
very
about camel meat and camel milk and camel products.
talking about culture and everything around the Middle East, which I'm pretty excited about. But that's it.
Yep.
Sandy, good job.
Kenneth, good job.
Everyone out there, thanks a lot for hanging out with us.
We'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, all. Bye.